Hi guys, I hope everyone is doing amazing. I haven't been able to post a video in a while because really life just got super busy. This has been a very busy year for me, and definitely something that contributes to busy months is being a kidney transplant recipient. Things don't stop when you leave the hospital with a new kidney. I don't know if it will always be like this. I am incredibly thankful for my transplant. It has absolutely changed my life. But I want to keep it real with you guys, and in this video I want to tell you everything about how this first year went for me. So after a few medication changes during the first months, I was set on Embarsos, which is a slow-release form of tacrolimus, prednisone, and Imuran for my main immunosuppressive trio. My labs have been pretty good for the most part all year, but because my tacrolimus level does not seem to want to be at a steady level, I have been having to get labs done more often. When my levels are high, I feel pretty shaky, and when they are low, I don't really feel anything, but it does increases my chances for rejection, which is pretty important. This medication, tacrolimus, has caused me to lose a significant amount of hair. I will say I had lost about 40% of my hair. The fall started right at 3 months post-transplant. Because I had tons of hair, I didn't do anything for a long time, and that was my biggest mistake. I said this before, the hair loss post-transplant is real, guys, so get ahead of it if you can. Another thing that has been a challenge during this year has been being chronically bloated. My transplant team says it has nothing to do with my transplant, and despite my efforts to pay attention to my food, it has been pretty difficult for me to pinpoint exactly what makes the bloating worse. The good news for me is that I just had a breath test done that is a two-part test. One checks for lactose intolerance and the other one for bacteria overgrowth. I am very excited to find out the results. It will make things much easier if I know what's causing my bloating. I always heard that during the first year post-transplant, it was pretty common to be admitted back into the hospital, with complications or just problems in general with the new kidney. I was very happy because I thought I was gonna make it a year without visiting the hospital. Well, that changed right around my 10-month mark. I started feeling these weird extra beats in my heart. My team said to go to the ER, so I did. They did an EKG and they didn't show anything concerning. The plan was to send me home with a 2-week heart monitor and then follow up with a cardiologist. Things changed when my blood work results came back. It turned out that my creatinine was 1.5. My number up to that point had been 0.9. 1.5 seemed concerning. They decided to keep me overnight. They ultrasounded my kidney and gave me IV fluids. Long story short, the next morning when they checked my blood again, my creatinine was back to 0.9. The doctor said that it seemed it was dehydration that caused my creatinine to rise. I was drinking 2 liters of water every day. That just meant I needed more than that. I was able to go home the next day. The deal with my heart is not yet resolved. I am still in the process of seeing a cardiologist. Another thing that popped up this year as a side effect is acne. I never had acne before transplant, not even when I was a teenager, so having it now is really hard for me. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't think the camera is showing as bad as it is because it's really bad. It's very red and inflamed and itches, and it just doesn't feel good. Another side effect that has been the theme of this past year is my increased appetite. Since I left the hospital with my new kidney transplant, I have been very hungry all the time. At first it made total sense since I was on a very high dose of prednisone. However, my prednisone dose has decreased to only 3 milligrams daily, a dose that accordingly to my doctor should not cause me to feel as hungry as I do. So what I think is happening is that since I had my transplant, food actually tastes good. For many years, I was a very picky eater. Chronic kidney disease is known for reducing people's appetite. The buildup of toxins in the blood, you know, can affect our sense of taste, and I believe that that's what it did to me. It is hard to feel bad about this side effect if it is an actual side effect, because for the first time in years I am enjoying food and that feels amazing. Despite my increased appetite, I have only gained 7 pounds since transplant. This has not been easy, but aside from my ice cream and chocolate obsession, I do a pretty good job preparing healthy food choices. I also try to exercise as often as I can. A highlight of this year was my trip to Mexico at about 9 months post. Yes, I was given the okay by my transplant team. They say to just follow guidelines and that I should be okay. I was concerned about how my body was going to react, mainly to food, and I guess my biggest fear was to get sick and be away from my transplant team. Although something made me sick in my stomach, it wasn't really as bad as I thought it was going to be. I feel that to be immune compromised, my body handled things pretty well while I was there. On the positive side, I learned a lot about my body and about my new limitations, and also about what not to be too worried about. It was a great experience, and it made me feel more comfortable about traveling, which is something that I really love to do. At the end of the day, getting sick in my stomach during my trip in Mexico, it's really not different than getting sick here back home. I have got sick, very sick to my stomach about 6 times during the past year. And it's not because I'm not following the guidelines, it's just, you know, it's a hit and miss sometimes. And I guess that's part of just being immune compromised. Like I said, it has been a busy year. I did PD dialysis for almost a year. And during that time, I only have monthly appointments with my DaVita clinic. Now, post-transplant, I have already been referred to a cardiologist, a gastrologist, a dermatologist, and an ophthalmologist. I had multiple tests done. I had so many clinic days and lab work. I went to the ER, I had COVID, I became pre-diabetic. I experienced many side effects from the medications. I wore 2 heart monitors already, and I have multiple medications and those changes, among many other things that I'm sure I am not including, all within the first year. Now, I am telling you this because I want you to have an idea as to what to expect during the first year post-transplant. However, although it may sound like my first year was just a hassle with side effects and referrals and meds and appointments, let me also tell you very sincerely that this past year was, without a doubt, absolutely amazing. And that is something that you can expect too. At least 90% of the time I have felt great, and that's another reason why I have been so busy, because now I have the energy to do many things I couldn't do before. Also, a lot of the symptoms that I had during dialysis and also during kidney failure, because when I started dialysis they never went away, those symptoms are completely gone right now. I have plenty of energy, and not only food tastes amazing, but I also don't have food restrictions. My head is clear. I feel awake, alert, and that for me, guys, it's priceless, and it's worth all the work it has taken to get here. Please note that a lot comes with a kidney transplant, but I truly believe it's absolutely worth it. So keep fighting, stay strong, and most of all, stay positive, because when you stay positive, you already won half of the battle. When you stay positive, you attract positive things into your life. That's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if there is something in particular that you would like to know, please leave me a question in the comment section. I will make sure to answer it. I'll see you all pretty soon. Take care.